Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, audio and visual elements of the videos I watch. And today I'm actually going to be talking about my upcoming theme month. This is pure rambling. And that's because I am about to start Arcane month. Now I decided I'm going to do these little videos for theme months as they come up. Just because it's nice to be able to talk about the idea for a moment. Specifically with this one, Video Game Month, Disney Month, they were a little bit more self-explanatory. This one, we're looking at a very specific franchise. So it's if you haven't seen Arcane, you've probably heard some of the music I'm talking about, but you won't have the wider context, whereas just video games in general is a bit more open. Arcane, if you don't know, is a truly phenomenal animated series. It debuted on Netflix 4 years ago with one season, and then the second season came out 3 years later, so that's last October, in fact. There are further seasons in the setting, although the arc titled Arcane is complete. There are further seasons in the setting that are coming, it's just one of the best bits of TV I've ever seen. This is part of a wider franchise. The franchise is League of Legends. This is a MOBA, or multiplayer online battle arena game, that came out 16 years ago, in 2009. And I used to play it back then. I played for a while. I got too good for friendly matches or playing against the AI, but not quite good enough to be competitive. And I'm sad to say that because I was in that weird in-between spot and I didn't really have the time to dedicate, the infamously toxic community around League of Legends basically stopped me playing, which was a shame. Although it's a bit of a lifestyle game, so it's probably not a bad thing in the long run. But I hold a great fondness for the characters and the lore that were developed around this game. It's astonishing what they did with this. They've created a really cool world. And Arcane looks at several of the characters who are playable in the game, and then develops the world around them to a huge extent with a bunch of other really cool characters that sort of make up the webs of interaction and all that sort of stuff. And it gives us some of the most emotional storytelling I have seen in a very long time, along with phenomenal representations of mental health challenges, one of the best lesbian relationships I've ever seen. Yes, I ship violin hard. I think it's just the presentation of it all round is superlative. I didn't see it when it first came out. I don't really know why. I think it was down to, honestly, probably just poor timing. I was really busy at that point, and I didn't quite get around to watching it. So I didn't see it until after the second season had come out, about a couple of weeks after it had come out. And when I did, I binged the whole thing in 3 days. And one of the advantages I had, and anyone who's watching this who hasn't seen it yet will have, is you don't have to wait 3 years for the resolution of the monumental cliffhanger at the end of Act 1, or Season 1, and I'm so grateful I didn't have to do that, because I'm sure people were tearing their hair out wanting to know what was coming. But it's just such a powerful storytelling combined with this astonishing animation. They absolutely nailed it. The fine detail they go into, subtle movements of characters, just the tiniest muscle twitch that tells you something about how they're doing. The art style's absolutely phenomenal. Probably also helps that while I ran Vhagar as my primary champion in the game, who's this guy, superb villain Vhagar to be precise, because, I mean, come on. And that's actually the only aesthetic thing I have ever spent money on in a game is that skin, because how could I not? But I ran Caitlyn as a secondary character, and Caitlyn is one of the primary characters in Arcane, and I absolutely loved seeing such a great story about her, her sort of interactions with Vi and the wider world around them. Absolutely wonderful. Arcane also has a soundtrack for the books, ranks as, I think, one of the best TV soundtracks ever, because it's full of songs by superstar artists in a very wide variety of genres, all of which were written for the TV series. And that's, I think, one of the big things. The mood is perfect because it was written for that moment in the series. And these include people like Imagine Dragons, Woodkid, B. Miller, King Princess, Sting. Phenomenal artists, and that soundtrack has lived rent-free in my head ever since. I regularly listen to it. So to that end, I planned Arcane Month, and the idea with this is not to react to the music, because I can't, I've heard it so much, but I wanted to check out covers of some of my favourite tracks from Arcane. This is going to include Enemy, Guns for Hire,
Not a good night to lose control.
Paint the Town Blue,
Paint the town blue, rays all around you.
Fantastic,
I'm feeling fantastic.
and more. I even have a special video planned for the end of the month, and I'll tease that nearer the time, though anyone on my Discord channel will get those teasers just a little sooner. So with that, starting Friday, I will look at the marvel, frankly, that is the world of Arcane's music, with a bunch of artists who've mostly not been on the channel before. Some of these I know are fairly common in reaction circles, and some I could barely find 1 or 2 videos for, if any. So there's a couple of people here who may not have or if they do have reactions, they're harder to find. But it's going to be a wide variety of folks, and I really hope that you will join me on this adventure, and I hope that you enjoy the selection of artists. Maybe I introduce you to some folks, maybe they're people that you just haven't really seen a reaction from about before, or whatever it happens to be. But I hope that you enjoy the music that I'm featuring over the next month, because that's a huge part of this as well. And I'm really, really excited to bring all of this to you. So with that, I'm just going to say, please do hit the like button and subscribe button to any of these videos that you enjoy, and this one, why not? And that notification bell will let you decide how often you want to be told I'm posting. And you can support the channel in a number of ways. You can head to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKreacts and leave a one-off donation of any amount. You can head to patreon.com/DavidKreacts, and that's the big one here, because one, it gives you access to my Discord channel, so you get those teasers of what I'm going to be doing at the end of the month, and two, I am going to run a Patreon exclusive just before, a few days to a week before that final video, so that my patrons will get to see that exclusively a little bit early. Or you can leave me a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those are always very gratefully appreciated. And if you're watching this after the fact, there should be a whole host of Arcane Month videos here for you to check out, and I really hope you do and that you enjoy them. And if you're watching this as it comes out, then there's a month of releases to look forward to, all looking at this astonishing soundtrack. So thank you very much indeed for spending a few minutes with me here. I hope that this gave you a little information about what I'm planning for Arcane Month. I hope that you stick around and enjoy it. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome to the playground.